And there you go. Turn on the torch, light up the flame. Time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are. Here I am, probably after a nice Thanksgiving meal and stuffed to the brim. It's like that, that last piece of chocolate pie, and you didn't even have room for that first piece of chocolate pie, and you're going, okay, just this one time. Ah. Yeah, we're all like that. That's what Thanksgiving's all about. Over stuff and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm thankful for being here in life in general, and also all my subscribers. I thought I'd at least sit down, and now's the time to really uh, get under I wouldn't say under the gun, but start doing Christmas stuff. Like, why not? I mean, actually, I have been doing Christmas stuff all along, but it's time to. I work at Walmart, and you know how many people work at Walmart, and fellow associates is one of the things that I get a kick out of giving and sharing my glass talent with. And so I've got a few pieces to make before I'm done. Anyway, um, thanks for being there, guys. Again, click like, click subscribe. Wait a minute, let me think if I remember correctly. It's click subscribe over here and click like over here, but I'm not sure. Let me, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to actually open up the live chat room so I could see if anybody's actually showed up yet. Excuse me, but we'll get there. So, without further ado, I've got the live chat room open, so if anybody shows up, I'll know it. Well, that's part of it anyway. I can tell. Oh, there's 3 people viewing already. Thank you. Hi, guys. Um, and the first thing I've got to do, I've got a couple of quick, what I call repairs to do. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the other camera. There we go. This is where it wouldn't hurt to have a, uh, uh, a a camera crew where all I have to do is just do my glass and talk to you guys. But I also have to be the techno wizardry, which sometimes screws up. Like the last one, there I was at the very end, and I thought I was sort of closing it down, just shutting the window down to the bottom of of the computer, and I ended up Xing it out and shutting off the whole feed, and it was like, no, but that happens. Okay, now with that, let's get on with the show. First, like I say, I have a repair that I have to really take care of, and it won't take but a second. It's one of my, and I'm going to be doing a couple of these really, really quick, which is some sea turtles. Matter of fact, that's one of the things I want to do. And also, if somebody's got a suggestion that they want to uh, yell out in the chat room and say, "Hey, I'd like to see an elephant done, or a cat done, or a mouse, or whatever," I'll see what I can do. So this is the point where I am open for suggestions. Anyway, oop, I forgot to get one more thing. I have to revamp my elbow prop, but this will still work for me at the time. Out here in my shed, it's I'd have to say in the lower 50s temperature wise, so it's not that cold here in North Carolina for Thanksgiving. And went over to my sister's house and enjoyed a wonderful meal. And no, there wasn't any chocolate pie, but hey, that's they did have some good, delicious pies, and I was like, "Mm," but I did have a few because I can, and it's a time to share your life with others. And what I'm doing, oop, let me tilt this down a little bit, move this over a little bit, and also see if I can't get you a camera, a lens on the camera, so you don't have your eyes going, I'm blind. There we go. It might be a little dirty, but it'll do the trick. Right, right. And again, just chime in, say something in the chat room, and say hi, and I'll chat back with you. It does take me sometimes a little bit to recognize because sometimes in the middle of doing a piece of glass and don't realize it. But most of the time, I say hi. And again, if you have a request of a type of Christmas ornament you'd like to see done, we'll see about doing it. Okay, that should be. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't break off on my. I hate that when that happens. Hot glass touches when you don't want it to. I was worried that as I was bending it back and forth, it would break off on my cold weld where I'm holding on to it. But luckily it didn't. And what I'm doing right now is my fold and pull method where I pull it out, fold it over, pull it out, fold it over. And that makes great wings, makes great turtle fins. That makes just about so you don't have to sit there and crimp it and move it out and make it that way. But this works out real well. Hello, Icarus. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thanks for saying so. Okay, this guy's about ready. Just warming him out a little bit more, and then I'm going to throw him right over here in my annealing oven. Tapping off the cold weld and fire polishing where that was, and there you go. That goes in to the oven. Now, next, any suggestions? No, I'm not going to do a turkey. I already am one. Not really, but that's beside the point. Again, thanks for being there, guys. I'm slowly but surely climbing up the ladder of subscribers. Already up to the almost 100, 820. It's at 818 at the moment, the last time I looked. But that changes. Lose a few, gain a whole lot. Lose a few more, gain a whole lot. You know how that is, but that's the way life is. Um, yeah, you can see my breath. It is a little cooler than I thought. Now, what I'm going to do right now is a sea turtle. I have a little bit of a method to it, and it's a flat sea turtle, basically for purposes. And I probably have done a demo on this before, and then I'm going to probably do a couple of seahorses, which I didn't realize I didn't have, but I'm going to do some of those too. Now, first thing I do is I flatten the body, and then I'm going to curve it in this marble mold here. That's about enough for the turtle shell. And I get a nice graphite and then just press it in the mold, round it in like so. I think I have one that's even thicker. Oh, there it is. Here we go. This will do the job. Bigger press. There you go. That basically makes the curve for the sea turtle shell. And inside and out, you might want to. There we go. And now I sometimes trim it out in green or colors. I've got some green exotic that I'll use for the outer shell trim here. Okay. And all I do is just the outer rim of the shell, like so, all the way around. Oops, added too much on one side, not enough on the other. So, got to add a little bit more. And then what I'm going to do is just give it a little bit of a ridge around the outside, or a little bit of texture, I should say, with a pair of tweezers. Simple texture. And you know me, that's one of the things I like to use is simple tools to make pretty interesting designs. And that's all I'm going to do all the way around the edge of the turtle shell, like so. Good evening, people, for those that are tuning in, and glad to see you guys are out there. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're sitting back, relaxing, and letting the tryptophan kick in. You know the feeling, huh? Game Mod 67. Happy Thanksgiving. Yep, yep. Oops. I got a little bit more on the side of this than I wanted to, but I'm going to work it in the mix. Okay. That's the outer thing of the shell. And I'm going to make the rest of it clear and give it colored eyes because I can. I usually start with the front left, but I flip it over. Actually, no, I do it the front right, but I have it flipped over, so this is going to be actually the front left. Um, Thin. Again, if you guys have a request that you'd like to see me do, type it into the chat room, and I'll see what I can do about making it. I'm going to do about I'm going to do this sea turtle, and then I'm going to do a seahorse type Christmas ornament, and it's fairly a nice size. And there's the other fin of the front, and this is the front right fin. And the reason I know this is the front right fin is because the dome goes this way and it concaves in that way. So the concave is on the bottom, not the top. And that's just a way of, again, giving your sea turtle texture without, you know, using a lot. Using less glass and making the same size little piece, I guess you could say. Yeah. Okay, eyes come next. There we go. Nice little head. And again, when you're working something like a head, you got to make sure it's round. And the way to do it is keep spinning it because it'll make itself round. But if you don't spin it, gravity will work and sag in one direction or another. You know how that gets. Gravity does have gravity work for you and not against you. And it does have some frustrating times. And it's learning to work your left and right hand together in anything that you do. You know how that can get, huh? Two eyes. And now I'm going to put a loop on the front of this for where the Christmas ornament slash pendant can hang. No requests. Nobody's got an idea what they'd like to see me make. And it doesn't have to be Christmassy. If you want something else done, I'll consider it. Except the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. No. We'll even think about one of those, but not right now. Okay, little loop. I know. At one point, I was swearing by the little hole punch things that I made, and I've just. Thanks, Nate. Maybe a reindeer. I. That sounds like an interesting idea. I can do a deer. I don't know about a reindeer. Well, I guess I could put a red nose on it or something, right? You could even say it glows. Oh yeah, or put Lucy on there. Then it'd only glow under a black light. Okay, there's the front half, and now I'm going to pull off this little clear tail, and then do the side fins. Yeah, I think I might even just put a little bit of Lucy on the nose. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to find some real quick, but I think I can put my hands on some fairly quickly. Okay. This fold and pull again is a very unique detail and texture. It really does some nice rippling effect. You can use it for fish fins. You can use it for um, elephant ears. You can use it for just about anything and everything that you would flatten and press out and shape, but without having to stop and take out the disc flatteners or whatever. You can do it all in one little. Well, not all in one, but still, it's a texture and a technique that once you've mastered, it comes in handy over and over again. And the only thing that stops you from coming up with a new idea is your own imagination saying, I can't do it. Okay, now I'm going to warm this up a little bit and stretch it. And the reason I stretch them is sea turtle shells are a little bit more oval and not just round. There you go. Just a little stretch, not a lot. You don't have to do a lot to it. And that pull that tail off, fire polish it. And we got, could probably reform or put a little bit more. Well, that made it flat on the bottom. Now that was not a good idea. That might do. There we go. I'm happy. I'm going to do, actually, I will do the reindeer and then the seahorse. There we go. Put him in the oven. Done. Now, we're going to do a reindeer. Reindeer is, it's basically, well, mine is a deer, but it'll have the, oh wait, before I really start, I know my flashlight is out here. I've got some Illuminati standing right here. I say flashlight, and I've got my UV light flashlight going on here. Give me a second. I gotta walk away from the microphone to look in my drawer for Illuminati. I need more Illuminati stuff, and I can take a stick at the rest. have to put the Lucy on the nose later when I find it. Sorry about that, folks. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to work. Couldn't find the Lucy. Oh, that thing just wants us. There we go. Couldn't find the Lucy at the moment. It's just my luck. And I know I probably have it just sitting right here on my table somewhere. Just like everything else. It's here. You just got to look for it sometimes. Anyway, back to this. I'll do the deer and then I'll put the Lucy on the nose later and then show it off to you guys. Okay? Okay, okay. Now, a deer. It's fairly simple to do a deer. Well, I say that because I know how to make shapes, right? Ah. The deer is very straightforward in itself. The body, the head, the antlers. One of the things I tell people is when you're doing glass, is that you're actually doing an alphabet of shapes, is what I call it. Shapes that you've done over and over again, and in your mind you say that's this shape to do the neck for a horse, dragon, and so on and so forth, but just changing it subtly, you make it into the neck of a deer. Okay? But that's the same basic shape that I'd use for, and I call that basic shape a shark fin. And you can see why, because the shark fin shape is there for you. Um, and as we go on, and for the deer nose, it's like an ice cream cone, but a little bit more elongated for a deer, is what I do. And then right at the very end, I give it just a little tuft upwards. And that's the same nose actually that I would put on a Doberman dog too, if you can see what I'm talking about there. Um, but it's also the reindeer nose, or, and then the ears. Uh, Actually, they go off to the side, and then the antlers are on the top. And usually I do like a 10, 5 to 10 point uh, buck here. And with the reindeer, they sort of go up and curve back and then curve forward again. You're doing like an S curve, you see there? And tilt that off a little bit to the side so you'll get, and you know I've got the outer flame going on and the center flame, and with the detail that you're going to be putting on something, sometimes a single flame helps out to do a whole lot of it. Hey, Demented Glass, nice to see you there and up and doing glass work or up and watching. Again, I felt like it was a good time to sit down and be thankful and also do another video real quick. And again, I go upwards, I bend back, and these antlers don't have to be exact because in real life they never really are exact. They're close. Okay. And then on top of that, up and bend back, I also do another, I guess you could say, branch going forward just slightly, like so. There you go. One on each side. Okay. And then I put a couple of, like I say, anywhere from right now we got a 4-point buck, I guess you could say. I do anywhere from a 5 to a 10-point buck going on. And I usually try to do them sort of symmetry, where this, if I put one on one side at about that same spot, I'll put another one on the other side. But again, it does not have to be exact because they never are exact in real life. Okay. And then there's room in the back here. I'm going to put at least one, if not two more. One there looks good. And when you're putting these antlers on, make sure you're not just sticking them on, but that you're making sure that the glass that you're putting it to is, in other words, putting two pieces together, fusing two pieces together, not just sticking them together. Okay. And we're up to a 8-pointer. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8-pointer at this point. And you know what? I'm going to quit with that because I can. Now, the eyes. What color do I guess you got brown-eyed deer, but hey, it's my deer. Let's see if I can find a little bit of blue. There it is. White blue eye. Right, right. One eye. And again, when you're trying, this is the fun part, is where you, especially, I should have done the eyes first, is when you got to put the eye on across from the other eye and not melt anything else. Not too bad. I'll show you. I'll heat both eyes up and show you that they're more or less across from each other. That's the whole idea. These two little things right there, that's the eyes, and to make them so that they're not one's way forward and one's way back, um, it just comes with time and practice. And even I still, get one, and it's sort of like, whoa, that's a lot off. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the. I might even make this into a ornament. I'll put the loop right about there when I'm all said and done. And because I already see this reindeer sort of in mid flight, I don't know why, but that's the way I see him, sort of like rearing up and rounding out. Let's see if we can do this. Up. I know. This is where the caricature comes in and not the detail. Okay. Let's do another one. Making sure it's sealed in real well. That's very important. Take that extra couple of seconds to fuse them together instead of just sticking them together, and you'll have a better quality piece in the long run. When you can look at a piece and it looks like it's all just flowing, and it looks like it all came from the same piece of glass, it will make a difference in the long run in your glass pieces. Okay, don't just slap it together. Make it work together. Make it a good sound piece of artwork. Okay, okay, okay. Now the back end of this guy. He's looking good. Yep, yep. Now, the main shape of my bodies to most of my animals, believe it or not, is a peanut. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. If you can sort of take the legs off and the head off, you've got sort of a round shape here and a little bit of I guess you could say, pinch in, and then sort of like an hourglass anyway. Where and then you have the back end of the deer, and both most of my animals, the horses, the you know dragons, the main part of the body is the shape of a peanut. Think about that. You got the shark fin, you got the peanut. If you can do the shark fin and the peanut, um, you'll have most of your like like I say, deer, dragons, whatever. It's there. You just gotta subtly change it in one direction or another, and you've got a different animal. Just like this reindeer is definitely not looking like any of my dragons. Okay. Now, this type of back leg is, I guess you could say, it's like an L bend. I sort of curve it back, then get about halfway through, and then curve it forward again. There we go. And you can sort of see that back leg. It sort of curves back and then goes forward. That's the type of, for the horse, the dragons. Again, it's the same basic shape over and over. But for the dragon, of course, I'd put the uh, uh, the claws on the end. But and with the horses and the reindeer, you don't really need claws or hooves. But if you wanted to sit there and do that type of detail, more power to you. Now, this is another little trick that I want to tell you about is that sometimes the more you put to it, the harder you try to make it look like it doesn't work. But the more you leave out, the person's imagination takes over. Like my mermaids. I don't usually put faces on my mermaids because I'd make that face look so freaking ugly. And that's not what a mermaid's face is all about. So I leave the face blank. And your imagination fills in the blanks on the faces of my mermaids. And but my wizards, I'll put a nice beard on it, a little nose, some eyes. They can look ugly. Wizard beard, Okay, let me think. I'm gonna about. Let's try it here. Right there on the back of his neck is where I'm going to put the loop. Okay. Any other requests? Now's the time. Hi, I'm glad to see that a few more people have joined the crowd. Nice to see you out there. I do appreciate your audience. And yes, I know I need to get a more scheduled event going on that you know about what time of the week and what time of the day. Usually it'll be about 8 o'clock at night. And I need to set a time of the week and also, but you know me, I'm, I'd rather come on and surprise you and say, hey, I'm right here right now, instead of saying I'll be there at and not be there. I guess that's one of the reasons why, but I guess getting a schedule and making a schedule is part of the fun of being there. Okay, that loop. And we have a reindeer. How's that for you there? Let me get there. And yes, I'm going to find that Illuminati. I'm going to put it on the end of the nose. Not Illuminati, but um, some loosies, some, you know, nice looking stuff. There we go. And with that, I'm going to do a quick seahorse Christmas ornament. Actually, before I do that, I've got one that I've got to repair real quick. It's right here. What is it about glass? And when you got hot glass in your hand, you get an itch in the weirdest places. Thank you, Icarus. You know, I do my better work when I have an audience. I don't know how that works, but it does. Happy Thanksgiving, big country. I'm glad to see you out there. It's nice to see that I am getting a few viewers, and I'm glad that they're out there. And again, I'm really excited that I'm getting closer and closer to that 1,000 mark of subscribers. And the more people that you tell me about, tell people about me, and that they can watch me do my glass work, that I'd appreciate it. Um, I It's taken me almost, well, December, the end of December, it'll be a whole 2 years that I've been doing glass blowing online with YouTube, and I've enjoyed all of them. I really have, and sharing my experiences and my my talent with those around me is part of the fun. It really is. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to do for this next one. This is going to look cool. You're going to like it, guys. I think last week or the week before, or the last, I think the last one I did an icicle. Okay, and what I'm going to do for this seahorse is I'm going to give that icicle look to the whole texture of the seahorse. So with that, we're going to go from there. Let's see what we can make it look like, right? Okay. Now this is a very unique technique in that you line glass on a rod, you know, on a solid rod, and then twist it, and it makes great icicles, and it's going to make a very nice texture. I can actually see a um, a dragonfly body out of this stuff too. I don't just say that for your benefit, big country. I saw your Facebook page of and having a dragonfly on it. That's a beautiful dragonfly, by the way. Um, it's just that it hit me as I'm making this texture here, and it's going to come out really nice for, like I said, for a seahorse, and also could work for dragonfly body. There the lines are, and if you put color there instead of just clear, that'll work too. But this is where the fun comes in. I'm going to heat. Oop, let's do it this way. Heat and twist, and try to keep it about the same thickness for the body of the seahorse. Okay, you can see, sorry, I should have done this before I started the twist. You can see the basic line, ridges, and stuff like that going on. And I've already started a little bit of the twist going on for the body. Okay, now I'm going to just continue twisting. And what that does is you don't have to twist it as much to get the nice twisting look effect going on, because you have more ridges to make the twist look tighter. Okay, here is the main body of this seahorse. Looking really good. I really do like the way the texture came out in it. Let it cool a little bit. You see what I mean? A lot of texture there. And again, if you use color, that would every different color would be a stripe or a twist in there. Now we're going to start by doing the bottom tail. That's where I usually start here on these seahorses. Here we go. How are we doing on time? Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Also, if you have a request, write it down in the comments, or if you have um, while we're live, you have an idea that you would like to see done. I may not be able to get to it today, but I always want to have input for future shows. Also, if you're not a member of Melting Memories Facebook page, that is a place that any of the videos that you've seen me do and you copied, I wouldn't say copied, but you've learned a new animal from, that's the wrong, yeah, copy is the wrong word, but you learned how to do an animal from, and you want to show it off, that is a good place to show it off. It's not just for my work, it's for anybody that wants to say, hey, I learned something from Libby's YouTube channel and want to share it with those that have seen my videos and are excited about them. I've had a lot of response that way, and I want you to. That's a very good place, and I do leave good comments and critique. No bad, it's not like it's a piece of crap. Don't ever show that here again. No, that's not it. I'll give encouragement any way I can. If I see something that I can help you with, I will. I'm not there to be mean. I'm there to let everybody enjoy glass blowing like I do. I tell people it's the pyromaniac in me being creative, and that's the truth. Amen to that. Okay, let's get the top half of this guy going. He's looking really, really nice. Any requests? Now's the time. Like I said, I might not be able to get to it today. I've got to get going here in about another half hour because I gotta work at and pay the bills in the almighty dollar. I hope eventually that through my YouTube channel and your support that I'll be able to work at doing just what I love to do, which is melt some glass. But we'll get there eventually. I love what I do. Now with the seahorse nose, I usually make it an extra, extra long nose, and then I sort of press like so, and that gives it a nice nose, as it were. And then now I'm going to curve. It was fun heating and melting and shaping without losing the twisty effect that went on in the body shape, as you can see. Now I'm going to also add my dot ridges all the way up. Like so. Now the one in the middle, I just point it outward for it a little bit, but I'll come back and finish the whole fin. But you got to do that, point it outward and finish the other ridges and then come back and finish the center fin because they collide, basically, is the best way to describe it. It's hard to try to put that dot and the bottom dot like that before finishing. Hard to describe, easy to do. But it's all in logistics. In other words, what needs to be done in succession to make this look like what I need it to look like without having to go back 3 times. Practice, 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 and oh, by the way, practice. Muscle memory, lots of muscle memory. Now I can go back and put the bottom and top fin to this thing on. I mean, in the middle. There we go. And all I do is basically point one up and out, and point one down and out. There we go. Oops. You can see how hard it would be to try to heat and touch and pull that one out and touch and pull that one out uh, after you've already put that on there. So again, logistics. Now, a loop on the top, and oh, eyes on this guy. Let's give him some blue eyes. A loop for for the Christmas ornament deal. Here we go. Up, up. I sort of make it into almost a question mark, and then just heat it and let it bend in the middle and let gravity work with you, and bring it back onto itself. And then you got a loop or a bail, whatever you want to call it. I call it a loop. It's just the alphabet of shapes that I've made in my mind, and that's what I call it, as a loop. Here we go, loop-de-loo. That's what you can call it, a loop-de-loo. Because never mind, you got the hint. I'm a punster from way back. Anyway, now the eyes. We're going to use the same color that we used for the. That nose is a little bit too long, but I'm going to leave it anyway. Sometimes exaggerations are a compliment to the animal, so that you don't have to guess. You know exactly what it is, saying, "Oh, that's a seahorse." There's one eye, and they're on a little bit of a stalk. So if you touch it in, pull it out, and then let it sort of it's not cooperating. Let me get a little bit more glass. There, right there. Right. A little bit more, a little bit more. There we go. Let that round in. Tilt it in a good direction. And you got, again, learning how to do the eyes across from each other is a fun little deal. I'm going to round that in just a little bit more on both sides. There we go. And that one's done. Tap that off like so. Fire polish where I had the cold weld. And that's in the oven. There we go. With that, I think I'm going to call the evening closed. And tomorrow I will have pictures of all of this stuff up so that you can see what it is and how it goes. Thank you for being there, guys. I do appreciate it. And again, as always, carpe vitro and enjoy your day. Thanks again. Again, click. Wait, let's see if I can do this right. It's click subscribe and click like, right? Something like that. I think I did that right this time. Let's see. Here it goes. I got I got it right. I'm waiting till it says okay. There we go. Click subscribe and click like. Yeah, okay. I pointed in the right directions. See on my screen, I see a mirror image of what it actually shows you guys. Anyway, neither here nor there. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Thanks, Demented. Bye for now.